Why, hello there, townspeople. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to City Tales Medieval Era. Episode 3, Sending the Knight Arthur to the Mines. So as soon as these gathering cabins have been upgraded from... Oh, there it goes! Gatherer's cabin just became automated from Joker, and the Fisher cabin automated from Dawnbreak. What I can do is I can move Dawnbreak, and Joker back to the facilities that are bottlenecked. So in this case, if I put one of them in this tavern that makes the fish with berries, which has been a bit of a bottleneck, Joker has the higher food skill, so she's going to help cook up some more fish with berries for us. And then likewise, I'll put Dawnbreak in the other one, not that she's particularly skilled, but it's better than nothing,
yes.
Into the porridge. Do trees regrow? Yes, you can see some of the saplings coming up here. They don't regrow particularly fast, but they do regrow. And I've just been upgrading these, no rhyme or reason, just willy-nilly. Turtle sandwich. Getting pretty good gathering as well. That's good. Both Kelly and Turtle Sandwich have leveled up their gathering skills quite a bit. And then Crimson being in charge of construction, getting the tiles. So now, we already have a production cycle where it's faster due to the presence of a companion, and it gets faster and faster, and then eventually yields more. Or rather, at level 4, gives a chance to finish nearby construction instantly after each production. That's pretty amazing. So there's a bunch of different benefits for having your companions specialize. Not to be ignored. So we've raised the gold. We have 116 out of the 100 that we need. So at this point, we need the population up to 350. So the plan is to just upgrade all of the cottages I have available to me. And it looks like the fish with berries is the bottleneck. But we have plenty of berries and plenty of fish, so it's just the fact that I need more cooking time. Now what I can do while I wait is to plan out more districts if I want, because that would be another way to raise my population. So let's do another district. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up all the relevant overlays, and it looks like there's a spot here which won't benefit from healthcare or entertainment. So if I put like healthcare and entertainment here, out here, I might have the religion, trade, and water overlapping. So that's the plan. The plan is to basically have a district here and a district here, which are population, and then have one out here, which is pharmacy and entertainment. So let's start painting that. And I think what I can do is start... I want this district to benefit from the trade district that we have inside. So it's going to be a little tricky to paint, because it needs to fall, the majority of it needs to fall within the sphere of influence of the trade district over here. Like that. Now if I could get up to 5, that would be great. Or 6. So there's 5. Let's see if I can't, no, can't, I'm probably not going to be able to push it to 6. Maybe. Come down this way. No, I don't think 6 is in the cards. Oh, God, it's so close. Oh, there we go. There's 6. Alright, that'll work. Done. So that's a district that benefits from religion, trade, water, not pharmacy or entertainment. And I was planning another one here, following the same sort of idea. The water is going to be easy because the sphere of influence of the water is huge. So it's just a matter of trying to get as much trade in there as possible, so I don't have to build another market square. And if I could get it up to a size 6, that would be fantastic. I think this one's going to be 5. I don't think I can nudge it to 6. Not a big deal. So I'm going to have it be as small of a 5 as possible. There we go. Done. So now these districts have everything they need to go from tier 1 to tier 2. They just don't have what they need to go from tier 2 to tier 3. So they're districts in development. But as a result of these new districts, I've not really used any of the clay tiles, but I will have expanded my population, meaning that I'll be able to afford the upgraded village hall without having to use the tiles for the tier 2 or tier 3 houses. And there we go. Population is now 350, so town hall is getting upgraded to a city hall. Major Mildew, thank you for the resub. And as that upgrades, I might as well use the remainder of my tiles for more beautiful townhouses. And then these districts over here can be production districts, where I put in, like, let's say, an eatery. And then I'll be building a pharmacy and a entertainment for them. There we go. This is our town hall. And one of the benefits of the town hall, if I'm not mistaken, yes. So originally, if you recall, I lined up my farms to go to the outer edge of my sphere of influence. So the line in which I can build has been expanded, the construction area. So I've gotten an extra, whatever this distance is, of construction all around my town hall in every direction. So that's one of the big benefits of the town hall. Besides just like physically looking nicer. And that finishes the city hall task. Can you believe it, my liege? I can finally stretch my legs under my desk. Well, and we welcomed a new companion, gained access to new facilities, and secured more land to build on, which is far more important. Yes, yes, of course. So, my liege, what comes next? I believe you made your choice, and yet I'm still dreaming. A castle? Can you imagine? Building our own very castle, together with our companions. Ah, one can dream. Quest completed. So I've unlocked an iron mine, a theater, a public school, a church, a city hall, a carpentry workshop, and a castle. Next is upgrade the town hall to a city hall and build my castle. So upgrading the town hall to a city hall requires more coin. It requires something called wooden beams. It requires more tiles. Wooden beams are made in a carpentry workshop out of planks and iron ore. It also requires a tier 2 market and a tier 1 pharmacy to support it. And then the iron ore comes from an iron mine. So I think first things first, let's get the iron mine, and I'm going to put it up here. There we go, iron mine. We also gained the tier 2 chapel, which is a church, the tier 2 performance stage, which is a theater, and then a new facility of the public school. The Apple a Day task down here wants me to upgrade my town hall, build a theater, and build a public school. We also gained a new companion. Save thee, most esteemed liege of Yodaville. Thy humble sister, Countess Alba of Hivath, hath sent me through hill and valley to lend mine hand in thy noble quest. Thou mayest call me Knight Arthur. I've sworn an oath to upon mine honor, and from this day forth I am thine to command. Now, my liege, I've traveled far and wide to find thee, and truth be told, my possessions is in worse shape than my spirit and body. My liege, thou wouldst give me a scrap of iron to mend my blade and armor and make them shine once more. A knight needs iron for their armor. So, Knight Errant Arthur needs iron from the iron mine to fix his sword and armor. Got it. Well, guess what? We're going to give him the beautiful honor of being in the mines. The other goal is to build a castle, and the materials involved in the castle are way beyond my capacity to produce. I don't even know how to produce those yet. So this is like a pie in the sky type of goal. One to be realized much, much later on. So one thing I can do is to upgrade the theater, or upgrade the performance stage to a theater, which will fulfill apple a day. That's pretty easy. And then the public school requires wooden beams, which I don't have yet. So that's going to have to wait. On top of that, some of the townhouses require public school access to be able to upgrade. So to be able to get tier 4 houses, I am going to need public schools. So my plan is to build public schooling in one of these center districts, which will benefit as many people as possible. Basically dropping a school here, like right there, realizing that I will inevitably displace people living here, but it will provide, because I'm putting it in the center, will provide school access to everyone. So I don't need to build multiple schools, which will save me like time and money and all that jazz. All right, iron mines up here, and guess what, Arthur?
Certainly.
You get to chip away at the mines.
Certainly.
I don't.
Okay. Do
I get to rename you? I guess I don't. So I think you can name your starting companions, but not the ones thereafter. So I guess no more raffles. Sorry. So the initial iron that we get from there is probably going to go to the Knight Errant armor. But we know that planks and iron form in the carpenter workshop. So the other thing that we could do is to set up a carpenter workshop. So if we open up the overlays again, I'm not going to be able to build out anything out here that takes advantage of well supply. But I could add more districts out this way as long as they had a well. And that way we can build a carpenter workshop somewhere out here. And as long as we build a well, it will be supplied with everything it needs to grow. Now the caveat here is this district may fall outside of the sphere of influence of the school that we have proposed to build. And this is one of those cases where it doesn't always make sense to try to have every district that you build be of maximum level. Like sometimes, I'm not saying build slums, but sometimes you're not going to be able to like incorporate the best levels of everything everywhere. It's like just not all that realistic. So here we go. District size of 5. And then this district is going to need a well in it to supply water supply. So we'll just queue up the well immediately. And then the whole purpose of this thing out here is so that we can build the carpenter workshop as well. And let's drop one of those in. So this district here has a well and a carpenter workshop and 2 shelters. So it's not a very populous district. Once the well is done, I'll be able to put a district in here and we'll have well access. But again, this district is probably going to fall outside of the sphere of influence of the school. So if I open up the school here, the proposed area is here. Alright, let me hide these overlays. And as you can see... Oh, you know, I could put the school here. It would cover it all. Maybe that's what I'll do. Put the school there and cover all the existing houses. I like it. Which means these houses over here can remain houses. The thing I had planned over here for these houses is for them to get entertainment and pharmacy access. And for that, it needs to be a district of size 4. Done. And we'll put in a theater and a pharmacy. So now every single house will have well, faith, market, pharmacy, and entertainment support. And the carpentry workshop. Go to... Oh, man. I don't like any of these options. I want to leave Pettersk on the lumber mill because the amount of planks I need is only going to increase. So maybe pull Dawnbreak off of working the... Dawnbreak was in the rustic tavern making porridge. I don't think I need... I have 70 porridge, so yeah, that's probably the one I could spare the most. So at this point, we are starting to make beams. And once I have enough beams for a public school, we can drop a public school in this middle district here. And now that the well is built over here, maybe chicken and the egg. So the worry I have is if I build a district here, it might not fall under the sphere of influence of the school, but it will... Oh, actually, no, there's a shortcut here. So this district has the only market. So I know if I build a district here that can benefit from the market, it will also inevitably benefit from the school because they're the same sphere of influence. So let's plan out this district over here. And I can have it be rather large because there's a lot of supporting facilities around it already. My only concern is it needs to stay within the wells range, which currently it isn't, so I have to shrink it a little bit so it absorbs the wells benefit. So I guess it's not going to be that large. I take that back. There we go. So that's 5, 6, 6 with a well. Yep, I guess 6. That'll work. God, look at that well coverage. It's all sorts of weird, but hey, it works. And we're slowly building in, like, around the mountain here. Maybe I'll put some decorations. Put a potted tree there. And... put a clothesline here. I bet it dries quickly with the mountain air. Maybe a little... This is the performance area. Wow, that's a really small stage. Well, I'll give you some flower pots. Awesome. It also means that all these houses here will be untouched. I'll probably end up putting some industries in there at some point, but at least initially I don't really need to worry about that. So plank production is barely keeping up. So speaking of additional industries, let's go ahead and hook up a lumber mill, our first duplicate, to keep up with the amount of wood that we're using. Because a lot of our if you look at the planks here, the planks are being diverted. We're only making 1.15 planks, and that's only because it's been boosted by our companions. It would be 1. And most of those planks are going straight to the carpenter workshop. So I'm going to put a lumber mill in this new district over here to support our increased need for planks. And Arthur now has all the iron that they need to hone their sword. Thy grace bringeth honor to thy name, my liege. I am in thy debt until fate unbinds me. Please accept mine boundless gratitude and allow me to serve thee as once I served thy sister. Lady Alba hath also entrusted me with delivering a message. Dear sibling and young liege of Yodaville, I send you my warmest congratulations. You've finally earned our father's trust. The road ahead is treacherous, and I wish nothing but the fortune I lacked at your age. I have sent Arthur to your side. He is still green, but the spark of promise burns bright in him. Surely he reminds me of you. Please treat him well. Yours truly, your sister, Countess Alba. And I thank thee again, my liege. I shall take my leave and await thy orders. Thank you for the gold. And I'll keep him mining in the iron mine. Whoa, he leveled up pretty quick. That's good. Okay, we are saving up for the school. And the school needs 26 planks. And then while we wait on that, let's get another plank producer here. Where can we spare someone? Maybe Joker? How much clay do I have? Yeah.
Certainly.
Move Turtle Sandwich. We're still in a net benefit of clay because he's automated the clay. Alright, there we go. So planks are up to a gain of 115. The wood cutter is barely in a net positive gain, but it's still technically, and Kellyan is still boosting that. If Kellyan gets it all the way up to level 4, or himself up to level 4, we'll have a lot more wood. I'm not immediately worried about that because it is still in the net positive. It looks like all other resources are in the net positive. Awesome. And cheers. Would a forester help? A forester actually doesn't plant trees. They collect mushrooms. So we're almost at the public school requirement. And if I put it here, I think this is the only district because it's in the center. So if I have to put it here, but if I put it here, what'll end up happening is this district won't have people living in it anymore. It will displace these two houses. So I'll have to refund them a little bit of coin. But it will provide the school benefit over everything. And then it looks like there's a space up here that can benefit from the school, which might also have access to all the other necessities. So keep an eye on that. Keeping in mind, of course, this district out to the, let's call it east, doesn't actually have any houses, so it doesn't need public school access. So all of this is leading up to eventually the town hall. The town hall does need 700 people, which is a bit of a loftier goal, but that's why I've been expanding the housing projects that I have so far, so that we can grow our population. I don't like the aesthetics of like sprawling slums of a bunch of people living in like tier 1 houses. You certainly could approach population growth that way if you'd like. It's just not what I'm aiming to do, which is why I'm trying to build a village that looks thriving. All right, we have enough. Let's do it. Public school. All you kiddos gonna get learned. So one of the next things we should maybe want to tackle is the requirements for a Townhouse 4, which requires clothing, which I don't believe I have access to just yet. So that means we need to fulfill more of the storyline to gain access to that. So to that end, the storyline is going to be unlocked once we fulfill the City Hall, because the castle on the hill is way beyond what I can do. So the public school that we're building right now, and it's almost done, will fulfill 2/3 of the apple a day, and the last part of that is the upgraded town hall, which requires tax money of 300 and more wooden beams, and we're almost at tax money 300. So the big barrier here is the population, I would say. But as long as we continue to expand our village and upgrade our population, we should hit that pop threshold with ease. And there's the school. So with the school built, let's go ahead and open up the overlay. I think it's going to be very difficult to build a district here that has healthcare and entertainment fulfillment, because the only spot out here that has those things is like a sliver right here. So I'll see what I could do, but I doubt it's going to be all that possible. Because, yeah, the district is simply just too small to exist. Because I'm not able to, I'm not able to get it close enough to the existing facilities. Oh, that's so... Where is it? It's close. I mean, it's a small district. It's a district of only 3. Where is it overlapping? Here? I'm gonna do it. It doesn't actually benefit from the entertainment and the, Yeah, I might just say it's not possible to wedge one in. Because it's this circle here. Yeah, let me hide the other ones that aren't a factor here. It's this circle here that I'm trying to fit it into, and there's just not enough space in there. Okay, that's fine. So if we build it out this way, we would need to build another entertainment and pharmacy to cover this area. This area already has water, trade, religion. It won't have the school. So we could, of course, build a second school. But the idea here is maybe not everything goes to tier 4. Because the school is only what is required for some of the houses to go from 3 to 4. Not even all of them. So, like, this townhouse, for instance, needs a public school, but, like, this one doesn't. They have different requirements. And what I'm trying to do now is just to upgrade my population to 700 without expanding our borders as much. So I'm going to speed up time so that I can gather the resources, because I think if all the buildings that are currently existing got upgraded, my population would hit the threshold I'm looking for. The other thing I could do is, once I have the beams required for the town hall, I could pause the carpenter's workshop. It's a pity they don't auto upgrade. I am actually happy they don't, because they require resources, and it might be resources that you're trying to build up a stockpile of for other purposes. So if they automatically auto upgrade it, it could be actually really annoying. Like, imagine the the quest where I was supposed to have 10 tiles in my stockpile, I would never be able to get past 4 if they auto-upgraded, because every house would go from tier 2 to tier 3 before I could stockpile 10 tiles. So that quest would be obnoxious, unless because it wouldn't necessarily set aside the 10 tiles required for the quest fulfillment. Alright, at this point, I think all of the houses are tier 2 at least. So we'll start to roll out the tier 3s. And I'm going to focus on rolling the tier 3 houses to what is closest to the school. Basically, to emulate wealth being concentrated in the middle of town. And even with 2 lumber mills, I'm blowing through my... Oh, so here's an example of this lumber mill briefly did not have enough planks for production. So there was an error signal thrown. If you upgrade a public building, let's say a church, does it increase the radius of the influence? No. Your districts do have this district radius bonus, which comes into play later. We haven't seen a benefit to that yet. But that is the tutorial goes over that. And you'll see that in play in a bit. So we're just shy 120 people. Now the other thing I could do, if I wanted to, and as just a demonstration, is like, let's say I wanted planks sooner. I could build like a throwaway district out here where I put in a lumber mill or 2, knowing that it's not really going to support, you know, I could put in 2 lumber mills and let's say tilery or... Because really low level stuff. So the reason why this doesn't always work is only the lower level stuff doesn't require zoning. So if you take a look at like something higher tier, like a stringing workshop, it requires to be within the sphere of influence of a well and a chapel. So you can't always use this method. So like I wouldn't be able to necessarily put in tilery because the tilery requires a tier 2 market and a tier 1 pharmacy. So this is not a valid spot for it. But if I wanted more lumber, I could temporarily throw in some lumber mills over here, even if I fully displace all the people. And then anytime I need lumber on demand, and this is kind of like a weird min-maxing, but anytime I want lumber on demand, I could just hire people to work this, like put Joker in here and to put Arthur in there. And then once they have at least gotten it to tier 2 for automation, I can then pause it whenever I don't need planks. So, it's weird, but it works.
Certainly.
So we'll get like a temporary woodworking workshop built just to support the house upgrade project that I got queued up. Now, what will end up happening, of course, is my wood production will tank like crazy because I didn't pair all of the new lumber mills with more woodcutters. And the disadvantage to doing this, of course, is like money, gold, because that costs, you know, capital investment. But I figured for the sake of time, it was worth, you know, employing a weird tactic like this. Because I am able to upgrade a lot faster. On top of that, we have all the wooden beams we need. So what I could do is I can straight up pause the carpentry workshop kick Dawnbreak out of it. And Dawnbreak, go back to making the fish in the tavern.
It will be done.
Because that is a current bottleneck. Interestingly, now I have plenty of planks. I mean, obviously that would be the consequence of what I was doing. But I have plenty of planks, so I really don't need all of these companions over here. I just wanted to demonstrate that if you were really bottlenecked on something, you could solve it. Let's see. What other resources do I desperately need? I'd like to put someone back in stone. Turtle Sandwich, you're maxed in for gathering, so let's move you back to stone. And I'll pause this lumber mill. And then other resources I'm low on. I'm not really low on anything else at the moment. And we are just like 11 people shy of my goal. So a few more townhouses and we'll be all set. I just need more fish with berries.
As you say.
So I'll find decent work for the companions that were just kicked out. So, let's see. Stone is a big one, but we have a boosted quarry. We've got plenty of rope. I don't really know if there's any work. Oh, maybe, the original lumber mill. I'll put, Joker in there. Done. And then I'll put Arthur back to collecting iron.
Okay.
He's level 3 gatherer, so we might as well level him up even to 4 if we could. Jonah, thank you for the resub. If I'm not mistaken, we only have 3 cottages left in our entire town. Everything else has become a townhouse. Nice. Oh, stone fell behind. Well, Turtle will bring that back up. The cottages, of course, cost a lot of stone as well. Now that we've built what we needed to build, I'm going to destroy this entire district to recover the invested resources, because I just want to demonstrate that. I didn't actually want to leave it standing. If we need more stone, and I do suspect that we're going to want 2 stone quarries, let's get a second stone quarry up. And we'll put it over here. And then we can have it headed by Arthur, because it's a related skill. Gathering iron and gathering stone are both gathering tasks. So then he can boost our stone. So the chapels here have a star because they can be upgraded to a church. I just don't need churches yet, so I've been ignoring it. Churches are required for townhouses to go from 3 to 4. But I still don't have clothes or apple cider or the other materials needed. So I don't want to drop a bunch of resources upgrading my chapels until the towns around them can actually benefit from it. However, with that said, City Hall is going to be done in a minute. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't point that out. I should have. That the chapels that I have could become churches. I just don't really have need of churches yet. Stone quarry lacks workforce. All right, Arthur, that's all you. And apple a day is done. I hear you're hard at work, as always, my liege. Truly, our town can hardly be called a settlement anymore. Surely, we're a proper city by now. And proper city needs proper services. So I've taken it upon myself to meet with some of our villagers and ask what they missed most from their former homes. I've compiled their answers and even prepared a few blueprints for you. Spinning workshop, tailor workshop, windmill, bakery, apple orchard, cider press, laundry. Thank you for tuning in to City Tales Medieval Era, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.